There's no question that UFOs are real. I studied the UFO phenomenon all over the world in 42 countries. I traveled 1 million kilometers for it. And there's no question that indeed there's something behind the UFO phenomenon which is real and indicating an extraterrestrial presence here on Earth.
I don't believe in UFOs. I've seen a number of them, and so I'm quite certain they exist. And it's a bit like asking, do you believe in this chair I'm sitting in? Well, I mean, it's there and you can see it. I've seen them. I've seen tremendous evidence associated with them, and there's no question in my mind that they are real.
I personally don't think that's true, because there have been committee after committee consisting of top flight academics and people who are skilled in recognizing aerial phenomena and so forth. When they look at the evidence, what they find is that the UFOs turn out to be natural phenomena.
The idea that unidentified objects in the skies may be spacecraft from another world sharply divides skeptics from believers. But it's an idea that is growing in popularity worldwide. Unidentified flying objects have been seen in the skies since the beginning of time. But are they mere quirks of nature or something more profound? And if so, what? In 1947, it was claimed that an alien spacecraft crashed in the desert near the town of Roswell, New Mexico. And indeed, although they later retracted this statement, initially the American military seemed to confirm the fact. 2 weeks earlier, Kenneth Arnold, a private pilot, had reported seeing disc-shaped craft in the skies ahead of him near Mount Rainier in Washington state. These two incidents triggered a belief in a phenomenon that over the last 50 years has attracted followers from all walks of life. Dr. Stephen Greer, a qualified medical doctor, is certain that UFOs are both real and extraterrestrial. He thinks he has plenty of evidence to justify a congressional hearing on the subject.
There's more evidence for this subject than there is for black holes. We have over 3,500 pilot reports from a member of my team who's collected them from civilian and military people. We have 4,000 landing trace events. We have hundreds of photographs that are daylight, crystal clear. They've been analyzed, and they're not hoaxes.
So far, Greer's efforts to persuade Congress have been unsuccessful. But his organization continues to groom its followers for contact with E.T.
So CSETI has also instituted a program of going around the world and initiating teams of observers, but beyond that, teams of people capable of interacting with these objects and with the intelligence behind these objects, which is what's really important.
There's been a combination of tremendous security put around the subject, which we're familiar with, and public disinformation and ridicule, which makes the subject the laughingstock of the scientific community and others. And so I may go and meet with the deputy director of NASA, and they're extremely interested, and they know the subject is real, but they would never go and be in front of a camera talking about it, because it'd be the end of their careers professionally.
Here we have the most commonly observed type of UFO. This is an official US Air Force picture, and this is the disc-shaped UFO with a dome on top. Observed all of
There's no doubt that the UFO phenomenon attracts more than its share of ridicule. But are photographs, however dubious, and individual eyewitness accounts too readily dismissed by skeptics?
We, healthy, normal human beings, we are able to describe something we have seen accurately, and we are not the victims of delusions all the times. We can be, but we are not always. Denying the reality of UFOs means denying the value of the human testimony itself. Close to a crop circle area in Alton Barns, and we have one of these little balls of light flying.
The local UFO clubs that Michael Hessman addresses are part of a growing international circuit. By far the majority here are convinced that UFOs are real and extraterrestrial in origin. Is it such an impossible idea?
It is not impossible at all for people to believe that we could be visited by other civilizations, because we ourselves send UFOs to other planetary bodies. So if there was life on some other planet, they may have also done the same thing by sending things to other planetary bodies.
That there is intelligent life elsewhere in the universe is no longer doubted by many of today's scientists and astronauts like Ulrich Wolter.
I'm convinced that in our universe there are other intelligence. However, I don't think that's true within our galaxy, in our Milky Way.
Astronaut Story Musgrave is even more convinced.
Statistically, it's a certainty. There are hugely advanced civilizations, intelligences, life forms out there. I believe they're so advanced that they're even doing interstellar travel. I believe it's possible they came here.
The ultimate question is someone else out there? And if they're out there, how many of them are there, and are they visiting us? We don't know, and we want to know.